illusion of this realm, so, or the optical illusion, or this realm being sort of like a mirage. So because while you're living your day-to-day life, and I talked about day-to-day living last video, you begin to notice that the patterns and the sequences that they run in as they show themselves to you, so only to you, because you can equate to what's going on as the observer of your life, being the consciousness, as as the creator, right? As you observe them, and you start to feel that things aren't necessarily lining up as it pertains to what you are wishing and saying is supposed to happen. The way you were taught in life was to reiterate or to recycle and regurgitate, so from school, and your parents had taught you that. But what happens, so when you see the optical illusion of the world and and feel that it's false. For example, this weekend we had a trail ride here in the area that I reside in, for now, living in. And every year, they have a trail ride here. People gear up, get their stuff on, they hotter stuff on, they less than nothing stuff on, to go to the trail ride. And you see videos on Instagram, you see videos on TikTok, you see videos on YouTube and Snap and all of that, of how, fascinated it looks, like the young gentlemen out there, you're just having fun, all the music. And you can equate that all the way back to Woodstock. It's almost like a Woodstock. And ain't nothing wrong with it, because the vendors in there, they trying to get money, and they are making money, and the entertainers are getting paid, and whoever's promoting it, of course, they are getting paid. So business is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what they show. But they also show the fights, the brawls, live action, this one cussing out this one beating this one to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Every year you gear up for that. And also, they don't show you this, but I know this because I've been told this. Now, I don't participate in the trail ride. I don't participate in anything unless it has to do with me making money. So, making money, or, helping someone else to do something that's personal and better for them, their lives. To me, a trail ride ain't it, what I'm saying, unless I'm getting some money. So with that being said, personally, someone told me it's like a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. They don't tell you about all the orgies that go on there, at the trail rides. It's just like a Woodstock, what I'm saying? They don't tell you about, your mates and your spouses going back in the back of the cars and out there in the woods having sex, crazy sex all day long, drunk out of their minds and stuff like that, So that's why it's a good old time, because everybody who's sneaking and geeking and creeping, what I'm saying, y'all ain't got no law. It's like lawlessness, what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna tell, because that's what y'all all go there to do. At the same time, you getting busted upside the head when you get home, and some of y'all getting busted upside the head there. Now, when I was young, I wish it could go back to this. The times could, but hope is for a thing that that's gone, so that is gone. So whomever and wherever an organization have the courage to do it, they'll have to reiterate this. The East Alabama Medical Center, when I was younger, and a lot of people from my hometown, they can equate to this, or they can, relate to this. When I was younger, they had the East Alabama Medical Center. So, and everybody there, your whole family could go. You could eat food all day. They would entertain food all day. You could take food home, come back, get food, take a nap, go be with your shorty, bring your shorty and her family 3 or 4 times, change outfits like it's your first time you went, even though you done been there politicking all day, you know what I'm saying? And it would be just amazing time, family-oriented place, fun. And it was free. Right? It was free. So they ain't had that in a long time. In a long time where something free, and vendors come to, donate their times or donate their materials for a cause for the community. And no one gets hurt, ain't nobody sneaking and geeking, what I'm saying? Everybody's acting cordial, This is the flip side of the illusion of what I tell you. You can only see, and I know, we don't have videos for way back when, And that can actually happen now. That could actually happen now. So I don't know if it happened in other areas because I'm not in those areas. I'm just saying it's what's happening here in the southeastern part of the country. You know what I mean? So with that being said, if we can go back, and get to what's pure, instead of, and you notice over the time, when you had backyard parties, they were fun. Backyard party when nobody getting shot, killed, or hurt. You don't have those. We had those. We had house parties when I was, in the teenage years. We go to the house party, to link up with the shorty, and then, you know how we do, back then, we slow grind. I ain't gonna talk about it. But we were expressing ourselves as teens, and nobody got killed or hurt, and we went in sight right. Nobody had ARs and all these different kind of type guns and all this going out to kill everybody. And the only reason YNs out doing that is because they don't know themselves as the true creator in love. If someone truly present themselves to love for them and they start to get into themselves, that would cease. But so there's a program. There's been a program ever since I've been small. There's this one group of people, or there's this one somebody that's going to be envious of the function. You know what I'm saying? And that's my point. That's the illusion. Don't you know every time, in my community, I'm not part of a particular community. Well, let me rephrase that. An African American community. Because when you're in collective, you're all a part of the all. But in a part of a function where you're going for good intent and just want to hang out, and there's no law enforcement. There's no law enforcement, or at least law enforcement, no matter what it is. Something gonna pop off. There's a program that's gonna pop off. So it's been going on since your grandmother, their grandmother, their uncle, their auntie. It's been going on long time. So they even make movies about it. And yet and still, we get into our functions, going to have a good time, release ourselves. And there's a nut, there's a fool, she or he, whatever, who are they? I don't know how they get this program. And we are not aware of it. Well, I am, because I don't go to the functions. You know what I'm saying? When I feel something's off, the next day, I hear the result of why it's off. And that's how you should be in everything in your entire life, so that it don't be an optical illusion. That it don't be an optical illusion to you. You see right past and through it, just like it was just glass. So, just like it's just glass. And so with that being said, if you could see you in the matter, even though you see people gearing up to go to them, and they looking at you like you an alien, alienated to the process. But you are alienated to those processes, and not just trail rides, you know what I'm saying? That's for the clubs and the other functions too. That we all, promote. Getting cracked, Man, getting cracked is so overrated and saturated. Everybody want to get cracked nowadays. Getting cracked. You know what I'm saying? What happens after you get cracked? So, that's just like what happens after you do yourself. You feel empty. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that much cracking in the world, y'all. It ain't no much cracking in the world. Y'all just saturated. Ain't no much getting cracked. You know what I'm saying? It's just like crack for real. You know what I'm saying? That's a fantasy high. A fantasy lie. Getting cracked, y'all. So love yourself more. So this is Shantae Payne, y'all. I just want to chop it up about the illusion from my viewpoint. I'll see you when you see Shantae Payne.